Okay, welcome to part 2, and this will be making some modification. In part 1 you saw we use the traditional techniques in order to work with the login part. We use the traditional approach like using the SQL connection and the SQL command, but then in this video we'll be trying something different. We'll be dealing in latest, right? I mean some latest tools and techniques which we can use, so I don't need this thing anymore, so everything is gone. Basically I have no code in the code behind, right? Simple login button click code. So what I'll do is I'll go to my solution explorer, I'll say demo, add, right click, new item, and then I'll choose link you to SQL. I'll call it data class. Okay, and I'll add link you to SQL class, and then I'll say add. Now once I say add, it creates a bunch of references to my references, and along with that it generates a DBML. And if you check, it tells you to drag these tables from here to the designer surface. So I'll be dragging from here to here, as you can see, and as you can see on the fly it has created a class for me. Okay, now I'll save it, and behind the scene it generates auto generated code which maintains everything. We don't need to worry about that. So I'll go here and I'll just click the designer.cs file, which is nothing but an auto generated code. All I need to do is I just need to pick the partial class which is auto generated. I need this class, so I'll copy it, then I'll close it, I'll close this as well. Now I'll get back here in my previous code, which is nothing but on my login button click, right? Initially I'll need to create the object of the DBML just we created. I'll call it context, then I'll say new. Once the context is ready, then we go to login, then we say where result is equal to 1 second. Now this is a link you query. This is a little bit different, but it is pretty much easy to understand. Then I'll go like this: from x in underscore context dot dbl users. Okay, so what this part means is I'm looking, thus my x variable is looking inside the dbl user table, which is nothing but, as I said, I'm looking over here into this table, right? So what I'll do is once I reach here, then I say where x dot username dot equals, then I'll say my username should be equal with the thing which I'm entering the text box, right? Should be text, and then you hit the ampersand, say and then you say again, and password should be equals to txt password dot text. Then in the end, after querying, you select something, right? So we are selecting x, and then you wrap the whole thing into the brackets, and in the end you say first or default. We are interested in only first record. If we get anything from the database, it means we have found the match. If we don't, it means we don't have any match. Then we'll check if result not equal to null. Okay, when I say when result is not equal to null, that means we have got something, and it means we have the user is correct. So we say success, and in case of else, if the result is null, that means after querying the database, if I don't get anything, then I get the failure. So I'll say response dot write, and I say failure. Okay, control query. Let's run again and see if it works fine. This is my Mozilla, and if you see for Joey and B was a password last time. If I try something garbage, and if I try, then it gives me a failure. But if I try the correct password, where's my browser? If I try the correct password, which was B, then it makes sense. Same goes with the ROS as well. For ROS the password was A, right now it's B. So if I hit BB, then it's a failure. Then if I hit A, then it's a success. Okay, so as you can see what we have done, we simply our database was ready. We only created this dbml file, okay, in which we simply dragged a table from the solution explorer, simply dragged it. And once it was done, what we did, we actually followed this designer.cs, which is the auto generated code, where we need to find this is the auto generated code, right? But the interesting thing about this is, like, whatever the tables I create in my database, I get the same table here. I hope you are able to see this. Then also, apart from that, it creates a method for me by default: insert, delete, update, and everything. But right now I'm interested in the class name. Data content is a class name, and then I'm simply using it on the top. One second. Then I'm simply using it on the top, okay, here. And in order to access, I create a variable which returns a class to me. I say from x, and I'm looking inside a table, user table, okay, where I'm picking the username, checking this username and password. If it matches, then return me a result. If result is nothing, then I get the failure. If result is something, then I get the success. And I guess that would be a shutdown.